You alright guys, welcome back to another video at Baphomet-ForgingStrength. Today I want to be talking about the hidden secret when it comes to improving your bench press and what it really is. As somebody who's a bench specialist and has competed in more bench onlys than full power meets only because of I suck at fucking deadlifts and squats, I feel like this is something that I have more expertise over, if you will. I can talk more into depth about the bench press than I can about the squat and the deadlift. Although I still have decent numbers in the other two, in comparison, my bench press shines much brighter. So when it comes to improving your bench press, a lot of misconceptions start when it comes to programming, exercise selection, volumes, periodization, frequency, and a lot of questions go over the head, and it's like, so what is it that I need to do in order to improve my bench press? And the problem with a lot of lifters now is that they don't like to say that their form is shit. The reason your bench sucks is because you bench like shit. If you learn how to bench press properly and how to execute lift with just absolute fucking style, you wouldn't have these kind of problems. It's actually quite amazing how much of a difference it makes from when you have shit form on a bench press and a shit setup to having an amazing setup and repeating that every time, and how much your strength changes within a few seconds, right? When I was gearing up to compete at the English Bench Press Championship, because of what happened at the British Championships, I got red lighted again and again for elbow depth, which was a load of bollocks. But, you know, after the Brits, we thought, well, you know, because we've got England's coming up, we need to make sure that, you know, we get the lifts in. And I went from my perfect setup to then doing for the next 8 weeks, I believe, after Brits, was just all flat back bench press, just shoulder blades back, but no arch, just raw dogging it really. And the difference in strength straight away just showed me how different it really is, and just how important having a good setup is, and how much extra strength it can give you by doing nothing. Now, if someone was to say to you, you can get stronger by doing fuck all, you'd probably, you probably think twice about what they're saying. You probably have to double take there. But when it comes to technique, it's true. You can fix your technique and add an extra 10 kilos within a session because it's that fucking important. No other lift is going to add that much weight in such a quick amount of time. If you can nail the setup, you'll get stronger just by doing that, just by being better at the bench press. It's about practice. That is why I normally recommend that most people, if they struggle with their bench press, to bench press 3 times a week, because it's the practice that matters. It's the consistency of doing it 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just constantly getting under that bar and practicing again and again and again and again. See, we're repetitive creatures and we learn skills by doing them. If you bench press once a week, you're going to fucking suck at it. You need that practice. The bench press is you can easily recover from that lift. So there's no reason why you should only be doing it once a week. If anything, it's a minimum of 2. Get under that bar and keep practicing, keep practicing, keep practicing. It doesn't always have to be heavy, but just getting under that bar and practicing how you press. Now, my biggest pointers for improvement on technique is very contrary to what a lot of people have promoted over the years. Now, I can't fucking stand leg drive and the teaching of leg drive, because essentially you're laying down and you're being taught to push your legs forward, right? So if you're pushing your legs forward and your head's here, right, and your body's like there or whatever, and you're pushing a force that way, but the bar is trying to go up that way. Well, you're pushing that way. The only thing it's doing is getting you a little budge off the chest. But what it's also doing is setting you up for a massive fucking failure when your elbows flare out too quickly, right? Now, some people, especially like heavyweights, have mastered the art of leg drive and stuff like that. But I often find that the better lifters just keep stiff the whole time. Their legs are fully stiff. Their back is locked in and tight, and the only thing that is moving is their arms. Nothing else can move. I could budge you with this pen and I can poke you and I can try and move your leg and nothing will move. Those are the people that have the good bench press, right? It's the stiffness. If you look at any of the lighter weight lifters, this often applies, is that they just try and go for a tight fucking setup. As minimal moving parts as possible. When you start having your legs moving, you have potential for your back to come out of position, your arms to come out of position, and oftentimes, especially when you're competing as well, when it's important to keep your arse on the bench, it could be a massive hindrance on people who already suffer from that kind of defect of their arse keeps coming off the bench. You know, so if you already kind of have that problem, teaching someone to use their legs to drive to drive the bar upwards is kind of counterproductive, because it also comes at the cost of that risk. Just the best way to set up is very ritualistic. So I get under the bar, I pick my grip. I don't grip the bar too tight before I've got myself fully set up. I kind of just have soft hands. Get your arch in what you find is suitable and what you find is perfect. Now, I like a good arch. If you're going to bench press, you need a good arch. You know, that's like doing, you know, not having an arch is like doing pole vaulting with an iron pike, not a fiberglass one. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the modern fucking day. Everybody's doing it. If you can't beat them, join them, right? So get yourself a good arch. Get yourself in a solid position where your shoulder blades are fully contracted backwards and they're locked in. Next, when you pull the bar off, you don't want to be rolling your shoulders forward. You want to be actively pulling the bar out with your back, yeah? So you can maintain that position. Now, I like to also tell people like a little, you know, I wouldn't say it's a mind game or anything like this, but I like to tell people to imagine their arms as pistons on one moving track, right? One moving track, right? It doesn't go like this. It doesn't curve. Now, although your anatomy won't allow you to properly bench press in a straight line, telling people to press in a straight line is much better. So you're naturally gonna curve upwards and you are going to have a natural kind of curve as you come up. However, if you tell people to press towards the rack, what really happens is they just do this, right? And they have a massive elbow flare, and oftentimes when it gets heavy, they'll lose the lift as soon as it flares out too much, because they're not in a strong position to produce force in. As most of you would know, that if you do a guillotine press, you're weak as fuck. And if you do a normal press, you're at your strongest. Why would you even try and put yourself in such a position? I don't know. Try and push straight up. Land on the part of your chest which is suitable for, you know, for your arms to be stacked on top of each other. Press straight up. Don't go anywhere else. Just aim for straight up. The moment you try dragging the bar back towards your eyes is when you're going to lose it. I've suffered for fucking years doing that. And even when I tell myself to press straight, when it gets sometimes too heavy, it will just end up drifting back towards my face. I'll lose the bar. It's very, very, very common for that to happen. So just teach yourself to press straight up in a straight line and keep your body stacked. As little moving parts as possible. Think of your arms as like pistons. They're on one moving track, like you're on a Smith machine. There's only one way, up and down. Keep the setup tight, keep your legs tight, massive brace, big chest, right? That is the secret to a bigger bench press. You know, you by using those pointers, you'll increase your bench press without even having to get stronger, just by improving your technique. No other lift, no other program can do that so quickly. Analyze your form, watch over your videos, and have a good look at yourself, and you know, watch back on your performance, and really don't have to be brutal on yourself, but be honest with yourself. Okay, my ass came off of the bench here. My legs are a bit wobbly. Though that is how you progress, is actually being self-critical. So whenever you hear someone, oh no, but don't be too, fucking look back in your shit, tell yourself you fucked up and get better. Yeah, that is how you get a better bench press. Anyway, that's all I want to talk about for today. So thank you guys for watching. A like, subscribe even. That'd be cheeky, wouldn't it? Absolutely anything would be lovely. Honestly, I've kind of got my heart back for producing content again, and you know, doing what I actually liked in the first place. So any support whatsoever would just mean the absolute fucking world. If you've got any questions, don't be afraid to comment. I'll always answer your comments. So I'll see you guys next time.